The arena pulsed with raw energy, a cauldron of anticipation where every shout from the crowd seemed to amplify the stakes. JERWIN ANCAJAS versus Jonathan Rodriguez wasn't just a fight, it was a seismic clash, a collision of skill, heart, and unyielding ambition that promised to deliver unforgettable drama. As the lights dimmed and the spotlight bathed the ring in a stark glow, the air crackled with expectation. ANCAJAS, the Filipino virtuoso, stepped forward, his lean frame radiating confidence, his eyes sharp with focus. Known for his blistering speed and surgical precision, he was a former world champion whose reputation preceded him like a shadow. Across the canvas stood Rodriguez, the Mexican powerhouse, his muscular build and steely gaze a testament to his destructive intent. Every step he took screamed danger, a man whose punches could shift the tide in an instant. This wasn't just a boxing match, it was a war, and these highlights capture every heart-stopping moment of a battle that left fans breathless. The crowd's roar reached a fever pitch as the fighters touched gloves, their stares locked in a silent vow to give no quarter. ANCAJAS moved with the grace of a dancer, his footwork fluid, his hands poised to strike like coiled springs. His record spoke of a man who'd outclassed opponents with a blend of speed and strategy, a technician who could unravel even the toughest foes. Rodriguez, by contrast, was a force of nature, his every movement heavy with purpose, his fists carrying the kind of power that could end a fight with one clean connection. The tail of the tape flashed across the arena screens on ANCAJAS with a slight reach advantage, Rodriguez with a reputation for devastating knockouts. But numbers only tell half the story in boxing. It's the intangibles, the heart, the grit, the will to endure that decide who walks away with their hand raised. From the first bell, it was clear both fighters had come to pour every ounce of themselves into this moment. The opening round exploded into action, the ring a stage for a high-stakes chess match played at breakneck speed. ANCAJAS, true to his style, danced around the canvas, his feet a blur as he circled Rodriguez, firing off crisp jabs that snapped with precision. Each punch was a probe, testing Rodriguez's defenses while setting the tone for a fight that promised relentless pace. Rodriguez, unfazed, stood his ground, his eyes locked on ANCAJAS as he absorbed the early shots and countered with heavy hooks. The crowd erupted with every exchange, sensing that this wasn't a feeling-out round, but a declaration of intent. ANCAJAS' speed was mesmerizing, his combinations landing with a rhythm that seemed almost choreographed, yet Rodriguez's power was a constant threat, his punches whistling through the air with enough force to make anyone flinch. One moment defined the round. ANCAJAS slipped a wild right hand from Rodriguez, only to counter with a vicious uppercut that snapped Rodriguez's head back, drawing a gasp from the crowd. Rodriguez shook it off, his eyes burning with defiance, and fired back with a hook that grazed ANCAJAS, a reminder that he was always one shot away from turning the tide. The second round saw the intensity dial up even further. Rodriguez, sensing the need to slow ANCAJAS's relentless movement, began targeting the body with punishing blows. Each punch landed with a thud that echoed through the arena, designed to sap ANCAJAS's energy and disrupt his flow. The Filipino winced but refused to retreat, leaning on his footwork to create angles and avoid being trapped against the ropes. It was a battle of contrasting styles. ANCAJAS the elusive matador, Rodriguez the charging bull, each man playing to his strengths. A particularly brutal exchange came midway through the round when Rodriguez caught ANCAJAS with a looping left hook that rocked him momentarily. The crowd surged to its feet, sensing a shift, but ANCAJAS responded with a dazzling three-punch combination: jab, cross, hook that forced Rodriguez to reset. The arena vibrated with energy, every fan on edge, knowing that each moment could be the one that changed everything. By the third round, the fight had settled into a rhythm, but the stakes felt higher with every passing second. ANCAJAS continued to rely on his speed, his hands a blur, as he peppered Rodriguez with jabs and occasional power shots. Rodriguez, meanwhile, stalked forward, his eyes locked on ANCAJAS like a hunter tracking prey. His strategy was clear. Cut. Off the ring, trap the faster fighter, and unleash the kind of power that could end the night in a single blow. The tension was palpable. Every feint, every step, every punch carried the weight of a potential game-changer. At one point, Rodriguez backed ANCAJAS into a corner, unloading a barrage of hooks that tested the Filipino's resilience. ANCAJAS, showing his championship pedigree, slipped most of the shots and countered with a blistering combination that had the crowd roaring. It was a masterclass in defense and offense, a reminder that speed and smarts could match raw power blow for blow. The middle rounds turned the fight into a war of attrition. ANCAJAS' speed was still his greatest asset, but Rodriguez's relentless pressure began to take its toll. The Mexican's body shots were adding up, slowing ANCAJAS' movement, just enough to make him a more stationary target. Yet ANCAJAS refused to break. He dug deep, firing back with combinations that showcased his heart and skill. One unforgettable moment came in the fifth round when Rodriguez landed a crushing right hand that staggered ANCAJAS. The crowd gasped, sensing a possible knockout, but ANCAJAS, with the heart of a lion, clinched briefly to clear his head before unleashing a flurry of punches that brought the arena to its feet. It was a testament to his resilience, a moment that defined his refusal to yield under pressure. Rodriguez, for his part, absorbed ANCAJAS' counters and kept coming, his punches carrying the kind of force that could change the fight's trajectory in an instant. The sixth round brought more of the same relentless action. Rodriguez's power was undeniable, his hooks and uppercuts thrown with vicious intent, but ANCAJAS' elusiveness made it difficult for him to land the clean shot he needed. The Mexican's frustration was evident at times, but his determination never wavered. He kept pressing forward, eating punches to land his own, his eyes burning with the intensity of a fighter who believed he could seize victory at any moment. ANCAJAS, meanwhile, leaned on his technical brilliance, using angles and movement to keep Rodriguez off balance. A particularly dramatic moment came when ANCAJAS landed a pinpoint left hand that rocked Rodriguez, only for the Mexican to fire back with a body shot that made ANCAJAS grimace. The crowd fed off this back and forth, their cheers growing louder with every exchange, every near miss, every moment that pushed both fighters to their limits. As the fight moved into the later rounds, it was clear that both men were reaching into reserves of strength and willpower that only the elite possess. ANCAJAS' face showed the wear of Rodriguez's power shots, his eyes swollen but still sharp with focus. Rodriguez, too, showed signs of fatigue, his pursuit of ANCAJAS taking a toll, yet his punches remained heavy, each one a potential fight ender. The eighth round delivered one of the fight's defining moments. ANCAJAS, sensing an opportunity, unleashed a dazzling combination jab, cross, hook, uppercut that caught Rodriguez flush. The Mexican stumbled, his knees buckling for a split second, and the crowd erupted, sensing a possible knockout. But Rodriguez, with the heart of a warrior, stayed upright, firing back with a desperation-fueled hook that forced ANCAJAS to respect his power. It was the kind of exchange that makes boxing unforgettable, a moment where both fighters showed why they belonged in the ring. The ninth and 10th rounds were a testament to the sheer will of both men. ANCAJAS, likely ahead on the scorecards thanks to his precision and volume, continued to box smartly, sticking and moving to avoid Rodriguez's bombs. Rodriguez, knowing he needed something big to shift the momentum, threw everything he had into his punches. The crowd was on its feet, screaming as the two warriors traded blows in the center of the ring. One particularly dramatic exchange saw ANCAJAS land a crisp 1-2 that snapped Rodriguez's head back, only for Rodriguez to respond with a body shot that echoed through the arena. It was a battle of attrition, each man pushing past exhaustion, driven by the desire to prove themselves. The crowd's energy was infectious, their cheers a constant backdrop to the unfolding drama. As the final bell loomed, the intensity reached a fever pitch. Both fighters, battered but unbowed, poured every ounce of energy into their punches. ANCAJAS' speed remained a factor, his hands flashing as he landed combinations that kept Rodriguez at bay. Rodriguez, with the heart of a lion, refused to stop coming forward, landing a monstrous right hand in the final minute that had the crowd gasping. ANCAJAS absorbed it and fired back with a flurry that showed he wasn't going anywhere. When the bell finally rang, the arena exploded in applause, both fighters raising their hands in a gesture of mutual respect and defiance. They'd given everything heart, soul, and skill in a fight that felt less like a contest and more like a testament to the human spirit. The aftermath was as dramatic as the fight itself. Both men stood in the center of the ring, their faces marked with the scars of battle as the crowd chanted their names. The judges' scorecards were read, and while the official result isn't the focus here, it's safe to say the decision was razor close, a reflection of how evenly matched these warriors were. What mattered more than the outcome was the performance, too. Fighters who left it all in the ring, who showed the world what boxing is all about. ANCAJAS' speed and precision were a masterclass in technical brilliance, while Rodriguez's power and relentless pressure embodied the raw, visceral side of the sport. Together, they created a fight that will be talked about for years. A clash that captured the essence of what it means to step into the ring. For fans watching these highlights, this fight is a gift that keeps on giving. The quick cuts of ANCAJAS' slipping punches, the slow-motion replays of Rodriguez's thunderous hooks, the crowd's roar as the momentum swings back and forth. It's all here, packed into a package that demands your attention. Rewatch the uppercut that rocked Rodriguez, the body shots that tested ANCAJAS, the final flurry that had the crowd screaming. If you're hungry for more, dive into the full fight, where every second is a testament to the heart of these two warriors. This isn't just a highlight reel. It's an invitation to experience the raw emotion, the unrelenting action, and the pure drama of JERWIN ANCAJAS versus Jonathan Rodriguez. So turn up the volume, let the adrenaline pull you in, and relive one of the most thrilling battles in recent memory. Like what you see? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and join the conversation about a fight that redefined what it means to go to war in the ring.